Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bow, bow. It's your man, Mark Fuller. I'm back at it, shooting my shots. Took a day off for the first time, I think, in 40 plus days. I've been making consecutive videos every day for the last 40 something days in a row. I had some family issues come up yesterday, so I was unable to make one. But I'm back at it. Bow. Back at it, back at it. I got a good topic of discussion for today. And before I get to that, I want to thank everyone for liking, for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I have been posting the links for the YouTube channel underneath the post on Facebook. And if you're on YouTube, the link to connect with me on Facebook should also be in the description box below the video. I also want to thank everyone for joining us and contributing financially to the Free World Order. You can join us with $1 a month. What that will do is help us to reach our goal of raising $1 billion in order to build the first resource-based city in the world. If you're unfamiliar still with what a resource-based economy is, go to thevenusproject.com and familiarize yourself with what it is, because it's the best thing that has ever happened to humanity. We're talking about readjusting our systems that we're using as human beings from a monetary system where we use money to a resource-based system where we use the natural resources of our planet intelligently in order to provide abundantly at a high level for every human being on the planet. That's a lot better than what we have right now. The system in place does not account for millions of people on our planet. And to me, that is unacceptable. It should also be unacceptable to you as a human being. There should be no one left behind. And unfortunately, we're operating within a paradigm where people are dying from starvation. People are dying from diseases that can be avoided and prevented. And it's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. It's as simple as that. But anyway, so thank you everyone that is contributing financially to help us reach our goal of raising $1 billion to build the first city. Once we have that first city in place, it will serve as the blueprint for what we can continue to do all across our planet by sharing the resources of the planet and allowing everyone to benefit from the production that science and technology will allow us to produce at a very high level. Just imagine everyone being able to live abundantly without restriction and without a price tag. That's what the Free World Order is about. That's what the Venus Project is about. So we're moving in the direction of the Venus Project. The Venus Project is already in place, and the blueprint is already there to actually build, the foundation for a resource-based city and the way that we can live. But what they don't have is the money. So what I'm doing through the Free World Order, which is my platform, is I'm using this platform to raise the money in order for us to allow the resources to be purchased, the team to be structured and put into place in order to actually build the first city. Because once we have that first city, that's going to be the introduction to what is possible, and also the way that we can live so much more efficiently, clean energy, abundance of food, healthy foods, agriculture, no pesticides. We have all the technology that will help us to avoid having to use all of the poisons and stuff that we use now. Like we're using carbon fuels, we're using pesticides. All of this is damaging and destructive to not only human beings, but also to the environment around us, to the ocean and the natural wildlife. It's endangering everyone, and it's fucking the planet up. So we need to do something better. And we're in position to do something better because we have the science, we have the technology. What we don't have is the system. We're still locked into a monetary system that prevents us from moving forward into that direction. And I just spent 5 minutes talking about that. But let me get to the topic at hand. It'll be brief. I want to talk about this Harvey Weinstein dude. What causes the behavior of people like Harvey Weinstein? What causes the behavior? What's behind that type of behavior? I want to talk about it a little bit. This dude is the type of dude that if he didn't have money, if he didn't have power and influence in Hollywood, and if he wasn't an influential individual, he would have never got any of the females that he basically is accused of putting his hands on and, talking to and being disrespectful towards. This is the type of dude that was, probably a nerd in school. This is the type of dude that was a nobody when he was growing up, and he probably had low self-esteem. Let me explain what gives someone the audacity and the confidence to be disrespectful towards women. It's money. When you have money as a man, you got money and you're in a position of power and influence, you have something that someone else wants. Having that is what enables you to even attempt to do something of that nature. So if your sexual urges and whatever it is that you go through as a man, money backs up your audacity. In other words, it gives you balls. You got the nuts now to do something that you normally would never do to a female if you were not in that position and if you didn't have the type of money that you do have. When you got money and you got power in this system, it corrupts people. Now, it's easy to be corrupted when you have money and power, because people will allow you to do things that they normally would not because of your status and because of the amount of money and power that you have accumulated. All right? This is why this behavior is acceptable, basically until somebody comes out and speaks up about it. Nobody cares. We're talking about something that this dude has been doing for 20 plus years. Women are coming forward now that he, exhibited that behavior towards when they were young, like in their 20s. These are women in their 30s and 40s now. If not, I think a couple are even older than that. So I think his wife left him. But what causes that behavior? I'm telling you what causes the behavior. People don't want to admit that when people have money within this monetary system, when you have money and you have power, it's like an enabler. Women will let you get away with things that they normally would not, because you might have the influence that they feel that they need in order to reach whatever their goal might be. If this is an up-and-coming actress that wants a certain role or wants to get certain, roles in different movies or wants to get favoritism, look at how his behavior basically condones and advocates a female's behavior with allowing him to do it. In other words, it's like a young woman coming up who wants to get an advantage or an edge is willing to do certain things, willing to accept that behavior. There are women that volunteer for somebody with that level of power in the industry that they're trying to get into to do whatever they desire to do. And it's okay with them. The fact that women are speaking out against this dude is just letting you know that when somebody regrets doing something that ultimately led to them getting to where they might be today, and they feel that regret and they feel that guilt on themselves, they might get to a point where they can't take it anymore and they speak out on it. That's what ends up happening to people like this. So it's like money, power is an enabler. But you wouldn't have that if you had basically a level playing field where everyone is living a life of abundance and they're not in need of another person to provide for them. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, if all people, just imagine for a moment, let's say all women were not dependent on men. Think about that. In society, historically, it's been the role of the female to be dependent on a man, for finances, to provide for the household through finances, again, through money. If you take that away, now people are actually in a position where they can interact with one another because neither one is in need of the other. So now the real character and personality of a person comes into play when it comes to interaction between males and females and, in different relationships. Because I don't want nothing from you and you don't want anything from me, because we're both well provided for. We're basically on the same playing field. I'm not envious of you or jealous of you, or I don't want necessarily what you have. You see what I'm saying? Because I already have all the things that I need. I already have all the things that I desire to have. You have all the things that you desire to have. So when we interact now as human beings, the interaction is going to be different because our behavior is going to be different. I'm not going to behave the way that I would if I was in a position where I have money and power. And I know that you are in a position where you desire to have something that I have, which is influence. If I'm an influential person, you know that by making me happy and satisfying whatever it is that I desire to have from you, that's giving you a better position in the industry that you want to go in and pursue. You see what I'm saying? So, there are going to be situations where women will enable that behavior. But I'm telling you that the cause of that behavior in the first place is money. So once again, it leads back to the system that we're a part of. If we didn't have the type of system that we do, you wouldn't have such a disproportionate disparity between individuals. You wouldn't have a situation where, people are up and coming and they're in need of anything from another person. If all of your needs are met, you're able to actually live your life, be creative, and do what you desire to do. You're not subjected to having to, be forced to do certain things because you want favoritism in an industry in order to reach a certain level of success or status or class within that industry. It's like you have your own desire to be a successful actress, your own desire to be a successful whatever. And there's someone already in position with a certain level of money, influence, and power. All of those things combined, mainly the money part is what corrupts a person. Because by you having money, you know that other people respect the fact that you have money, and it puts you on a pedestal. It elevates you within this system. So once again, if we're not living in a system as this, it changes the whole playing field. So now you are forced to actually be who you actually are. And you're going to be exposed immediately. So if you're a certain way and you have certain behavior, if you don't have situations where women need you or need your influence or need or desire to be around your power, if they don't have that, if they're not in need of that, guess what will happen to you? You won't be in a position to get away with the bullshit that you want to do. You see what I'm saying? So the cause of that behavior is the system that we're in. The cause of all of the negative behavior that we see is as a result of a system where it's unbalanced between human beings. It's disproportionate. It's just like you got somebody really poor and then you got somebody really rich. The person that is poor is in need, And the person that is rich is there to provide that need in exchange for whatever they want. And if you're a poor person, you're not in a position to decide whether or not you're going to do something or not. Not when your stomach is touching your back, not when you're hungry, not when you got a family or you got kids to feed. There will come a time where you will be desperate enough to do whatever it takes in order to get what it is that you need. And then there's going to be the wolf there to take advantage of your situation. And this Harvey Weinstein dude represents that archetype, that prototype. He represents people that exhibit that behavior. But I'm telling you that the cause of that behavior is the system that we're living in. It's that simple. People say it's not all about money. Come on now. This dude wouldn't be getting chicks if it wasn't for his money. He wouldn't be getting females like that if it wasn't for his power and his influence. And the only reason that he has his power and his influence is because he's reached a certain financial status, and his financial status has opened up the door to him having a certain level of power. Because it is empowering when you're not limited to where you can live. You're not limited to where you can go, to what you can drive, to where your children can go to school, to what you can do on a daily basis, to how you can move around. People are definitely, when they look at that, they become envious. They become jealous in many cases, in many instances. You know, sometimes they might become, you know, just the person that wants what you have, or respects you because of what you have. Not respects you because of who you are. They respect you because of what you have. And you only have what you have because of the system that we're a part of, the way that the system is designed. When people get money and power, their behavior can reflect the way that they are, and they'll get away with the bullshit that they've always wanted to do. They'll get away with the bullshit that they normally wouldn't be able to get away with if we didn't have the type of system that we do have. If you had women on the same playing field with men, you would actually have much better relationships and interactions with people, because no one is in a position to basically have need of another person in order for their needs to be met. You see what I'm saying? If you take away the need that a woman has from a man, as far as being able to be provided for, if a woman doesn't need you for that, now she wants to actually get to know you as a person and for who you are. So again, this is what transitioning to a resource-based system will do. Is going to position human beings to actually have to interact with one another, get to know people. You're not getting to know somebody because of the amount of money that they have. You understand what I'm saying? You get to know somebody because of who the person is, and you're getting to know the person. So it is allowing us to even be more human instead of being more subjected to the bullshit that goes on right now. Because this is some bullshit. It's some bullshit. And if he's getting away with it, just imagine how many more people are getting away with doing it. You understand? And it does work on both sides. It works when it comes to women too. It's not just men. But it's more offensive when it's a man doing it to a female. Because, you know, it is what it is. The way that we are built in society. You know, men are naturally and physically more powerful than women. So for you to take advantage of a woman and she's afraid and she's emotionally, basically, she's emotionally like kept from telling anybody about some bullshit that went on because of what she actually wants. Like, she wants something from you, so she's allowing you to get away with your bullshit. All of that plays a part. So this the type of stuff that goes on, and this is the type of stuff that will continue to go on until we transition and change the way that the whole system works. some more bullshit for you. But anyway, so I end the video there. I try, I always try not to make these videos too long, but once I get to talking about it, I like to open up the dialogue. But definitely comment on the video. Let me know how you guys feel. I would like to hear your opinion about what causes this type of behavior, because a lot of this type of behavior goes on. There's a lot of men that do rapes and, just stuff like that, where all of that is caused by something. It's good to get to the bottom of what the causes are, because then you can deal with that behavior. You can't deal with the behavior by dealing with the after effect from the behavior. It's like now people want to punish this guy for the behavior that he's done. Oh, he's sick, he needs help. That may be the case. But what enables somebody to even do that in the first place is when they get their hands on some money. Ultimately, that leads to them having a certain level of status in society, and it gives them power. And that power is what basically positions them to almost be immune until somebody speaks up about it. But like, nobody really cares if this is an influential person until it reaches a level that's higher than that person. And that's kind of what happened with him. So he was made an example out of, once the people that deal with him found out that he was doing that, they were hearing it from too many sources all at one time, and they wanted to remove themselves from that. You see what I'm saying? So they're like, listen, you fired, you got to go. We're not going to work with you anymore. Beat it. And that's what happened to him. So now he's the example. But I guarantee you that people already knew about this. They knew that it was going on for years. And people will sweep it under the rug because they're part of the same system and they're inside the circle of the bullshit. When you have status and you have a certain level of success, a lot of times people will keep quiet about shit that they know that's fucked up. They don't want to be blackballed. They don't want to have any problems when it comes to getting work in that industry. So they don't say nothing. There's a lot of bullshit goes on. So money, monetary system, all of this shit breeds corruption. It breeds corruptions in human beings. That is what is enabling the bullshit to go on. But if you change the conditions, and the conditions reflect that of a equal, not even equal, but just of a playing field where everyone has access to all the things that they need in life. Now, because the playing field is even, I don't need anything from you. You don't need anything from me. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. You're not trying to sell me on nothing. Now we can actually live as human beings. But we can't do that while we have a monetary system where I can accumulate more money than you. And because I got more money, it gives me a better status in society than you. And then I'm able to mistreat you because you don't have the same status that I have. And you may even want something from me. You might want something from me as far as my influence. You might want something from me as far as the power that I have. If I'm already in position to do certain things and you want that, what will you allow me to do? You allow me to do whatever I want to do in exchange for what you want from me. You see what I'm saying? Come on. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But definitely like, subscribe, share these videos. The more that this content gets out there, the more people become aware of the resource-based economy and the way that we can transition into a much better world, the faster it's going to happen. If y'all don't do nothing, nothing's going to happen. So like the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the videos, and get yourself, with us. Join us with $1 a month. I'm going to talk about that also in another video. Just, talk about why I always talk about $1 a month. A very specific reason for that is because masses of people doing a little in one direction for one common purpose. Like this is not a charity. And let me not even go into that because I'm already 25 minutes into this video. I'll make another video talking about that. All right, Mark Fuller signing off. Free World Order. Like, subscribe, share the videos, and join us with $1 a month. Mark Fuller. Deuce.